kindergarten. I remember my first Disneyland and my first SeaWorld trip when I was 3.
How can you remember that far back? What kind of things do you remember from that far back? Like dialogue or just seeing certain things?
So when I was in SeaWorld, I was like 3 or 4. I was like 3. I remember going to SeaWorld. I remember sitting on one of the rows and going to the Shamu show with my yellow SeaWorld poncho, and they made Shamu do that trick where they splashes the audience, and I remember getting soaked, and I remember going like that after
tasting the salt.
The salt, yeah, and my mom would be like, no, that's Eka water, because she's obviously into it. I was like, it's fucking Shamu. It's shit and piss. And
you know that the swimming pool was the first equal restroom, first genderless thing, because everybody pissed in that bitch when they were little.
That's true. Now, not integrated, but
yes.
Unisex, yes. But anyway, so I remember shit from that. I remember because during that same trip we went to the San Diego Zoo. Or no, sorry, the Monterey Aquarium. And I remember touching, how they had little pond things where you can actually touch the starfish and everything. And then I remember being able to touch the top of the stingrays.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I remember that. And then from Disneyland, I just remember getting on it was someone that had little lights.
What's the oldest, happiest memory you can remember?
Oldest, happiest memory. We had gotten all together in California.
Family?
Yeah, because we used to spend our Christmases over there. And all my cousins and aunts and uncles were all together, and we all got to open all the cousins got to open all the presents together. My aunt's house, she still owns this house. She has one of those. Huh?
At West.
Yeah.
Okay.
She has one of those windows where it's goes out like that.
Oh, those are, yeah, I forget what those are called, but yeah, those are nice.
They're big windows. And so she has it like that, and so they usually put the Christmas tree right in the middle, and the entire section was filled with every family's Christmas gifts. So there was so many gifts, and it was beautiful, a big old tree. And I remember that, but I had to be, not even, because it had to be before kindergarten, because my parents I didn't live with my parents when I was in kindergarten.
It's kind of funny you tying that into Christmas, and I think that's probably one of the, because we get to have Christmas every year, we have the opportunity to relive or to remember. And I can't remember the gifts, except one time that I didn't know about layaway at the time. My mama took me to Kmart. I remember picking out all these cool toys. And my mama, at the very end of being able to pick all this fun shit, she's like, okay, well, we're going to send this to Mexico. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Because my mom would give me one of the things I got to pick out. I'm thinking I'm picking shit out for cousins. I'm like, well, shit, I would love this. Oh, I would love that. And then apparently she was just slowly paying for it time after time. So here comes Christmas time. I only get one big ass looking box, but it was all the little shits that whatever I'm picking out.
Oh, that's cute.
But, and I only remember this because you mentioned Christmas, but the first thing I remembered when you said Christmas, I didn't think of a present story, that's the present story, but the dopest thing that I loved, my cousin Gus, who now is a correctional officer, police kind of guy, he always had a very strict dad who was always on his ass because we're chubby kids, and he was always on about being active and being healthy and not eating crap. So every single time that he'd come to our house,
sober up.
He would fuck shit up like nobody's business. So that was customary. So it's so funny thinking about this now, because so when I knew that when he was coming, I had to get all the good shit and put it in my closet, which we called the snackatarium. The fucking snackatarium. Literally have all the treats from throughout the day, and I'd slowly stock little by little, so you wouldn't notice it missing. And then he'd come and just like two fat bitches do, like, what do you have? And you just open it, and it's like, I was never so much of a giver, but now that I think back, that was when I gave, and I was like, nigga, since you had to be held hostage and fucking not fed any fucking sugar because you have a psychotic fucking old man. Like, here you go, buddy, let's be fat together. I'm so glad that you're here.
That's so cute.
Yeah. So I started tripping out when I saw little clips of me when I was little. And apparently when I was little, I was straight up, nigga might as well have been from Sinaloa, because apparently all I spoke was Spanish.
Oh, me too.
And then my uncle whitewashed me, and then, you know what I'm saying?
I'm thinking I would only speak Spanish when I was little. Like, I remember to the point where they took me to take those classes to do like
ESL?
flashcards.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and now like my Spanish was like, girl, I can get live.
I felt bad because I feel like in life, people who grew up in dual language homes, they would usually put, the kid isn't even all that slow, but they'll put you in like special ed or English learning classes because you're not too hip to the English, which I feel was like a way to set you up for failure, because they purposely keep you behind.
But it's like so weird because like schools like in the outside countries, like they like encourage to learn English as well as your native language.
Oh, definitely.
And here it's like oh, you need to stop speaking your native language.
That's why I get mad. Well, that's why I wish I lived like in Eastern European countries, because people would speak at least that, and they at least speak 4 languages. Like, they can get mad about me not speaking your language. Like, but how many languages do you know?
Get on my fucking level, basically, right?
Yeah. Fucking A. I don't know how we started talking about this. Beaner babies.
Oh, that's right. What is the oldest worst memory you have?
I was hoping you would not take it there, although that's a good setup. Do you want me to cry, or? I honestly, I fear that whatever moment that shit was, somehow my body's suppressing it. And I'm sure marijuana isn't helping me to remember.
That's true. No, but I'm just saying, like, it can be, like, disgusting. Mine's kind of disgusting. Like, ugh.
The worst, actually, let me tell you, one of the times I felt the most bad, like I remember, besides when I, say assholey things that make women cry, because I don't ever want to make a woman cry, unless it's, sweet bliss and it's because penis is penetrating. But one of the times where, and you know what, and I was probably a sick bastard for this, I was about 16, 17, I think it had been about 17, so I think I had just popped my cherry not too long beforehand. And there's this neighbor girl, and now that I think of it, she might have been retarded, and but she was older than me, and she would always like come over to my grandma's to play with my little, to ask to play with my little sister. And I was like, that's fucking weird, because you're older than me, bitch. You wanted to play with my sister who's like 8 years younger than me. Like, that's something, whatever. But we would end up hanging out naturally. And she was an habitual liar. And just to kind of put it off, so she was white, she lived with her stepdaddy, and her mama was the type to where she'd always said that she was heavily medicated and hardly left the house. So this is the kind of situation that's going on. So, for some reason, and I'm not too sure if because she was a certain sort of, mental kind of condition, that she was this habitual liar, but she had, and me just being a perv wanting to smash, she would say that, she had done it with a bunch of guys, and this and that, and me just being, oh, you want me to get my chance, kind of bullshit. I proceed, and it got to where it got to getting down to business. me not knowing how to butter up or, any proper forms of foreplay. I go right into stabbing formation. Turns out I broke the hymen. This bitch is bleeding all over my grandma's sheets. And I'm yelling at her that she's making a mess. And here she goes, losing her virginity, not knowing what the fuck she was getting herself into. And, yeah.
Oh my gosh, what did you guys do?
I kicked her out of the fucking house because she stained my grandmama's sheets.
What did you do about the stain?
I forget. I think I hid it, threw it away. I don't know if I tried washing it. It was too suspicious for me to be washing the fucking blankets. I think I put a napkin over it. I think I might have put pizza sauce over it just to fucking make it match. I don't remember what kind of methods I used. Little Caesars was popping at the time. I don't remember, but it was, it's the most bad I felt because I'm like, here she goes doing me a favor. And I'm yelling at her. Oh, actually, no. I now remember. Oh my goodness, I feel really bad. I remember yelling at her to clean it, and it was just all bad. I'd never been so evil before.
God, yeah, so it's like.
And poor girl, she's having herself an experience, and
you're like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? Clean this shit.
Clean it, leave. No, clean it first. No, leave. Oh no, clean it.
And she's like, I'm bleeding.
It was real terrible because she just had the sweetest heart, and I have a real bad habit of hurting people who have big fucking hearts, and it makes me feel bad, and it makes me worry about.
This is why we're friends, because you can never hurt me.
What?
Is this why we're friends, because you know you can never hurt me?
I think so. Like I could just abuse you and spit on you and probably come on your eyebrows. They look perfectly perched.
I could just like this,
and just wipe it off and be like, next.
Yeah.
I always worried that about you too. That
you're just like brown too.
What?
Oh, it's like brown too.
Oh god, you said black and brown too. I'm like, holy shit! Don't go mixing. You know how my girl teases me. She tells me, she's like, if you ever cheat on me, I'm gonna fuck the biggest, blackest guy that's around here. I'm like, that's real fucking racist to assume that's gonna fucking penetrate my soul. But then again, I mean, I do say nigga with the hard R, so I mean,
you're like nigger.
I'm pretty sure it can't really hide myself. But I think that's bullshit too. Just, I don't know. I feel like certain words are made to be certain words, and their emphasis are supposed to hurt.
Something sweet.
Something tangy. So you go to a lynching party?
What the fuck?
What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, you actually want to get something sweet? Or is it a gay joke? I don't understand.
Yeah, I want your loan.
Wendy's. I'm actually wondering how much prostitution happens here.
A lot.
I'm wondering how much you went trafficking. I feel like I'm so close to it. And one of the most fucked up things about that shit, besides it obviously enslaving and putting people through torture shits, is the fact that how lucrative of a business it is. If you think of
this way.
Yeah.
Well, let's go to fucking QT while you're taking me your home.
Oh shit.
Unless you have something else in mind for something sweet.
Oh yes.
Gay!
No sir. And I was thinking we could go to a park, but then imagine that, fucking be on the news, local man, fucking getting domed, right in front of a Mormon church.
I've done that already.
Have you really? Hey, so have you been with a Mormon guy? Like, has a Mormon ever knocked on your door, offered to assist you and show you the powers of Christ, and you end up sucking them off?
No.
I would hope they'd be stronger than that.
I wouldn't want to. They're usually white. I'm thinking like, oh, you probably have like a little like.
Broaden your horizons. Get with someone with good credit. I'm just someone with a strong faith who can fuck you and then tell you that you're the Lord's scum. See, that's what I figured you would have been with, like some kind of Baptist motherfucker who. Only meets you at rest stops. Have you ever done that? Is that a thing? Do gays go to rest stops?
I couldn't.
Do people do that? Is that an actual thing? Really?
Yeah.
This day and age?
You can watch videos later on.
No. I don't want that shit on my Wi-Fi.
On my phone, though.
Oh, okay.
You can say my client through it.
That's very nasty. On that note, we'll be right back.
Kind of like a motherfucking booger that you flick and you flick, but you see that it's kind of like bubbly and just too green to lean, and you can't get rid of it. That's kind of how it is with this motherfucker when he gets on this faggoty shit. You gotta spray him with water or slap him across the head or fucking say in the name of Jesus. There's just some people who are just gonna take an extra flick, and that's really all that it fucking takes. Anyways, what was supposed to be a blunt cruise melody recording session turned into be a fucking gossip and just kind of catching up, and you can't help that when you have two good friends together. You know, you can't help but blab.